Hi, and welcome to the AI Literacy Lab. My name is Anna, and today we're going to talk about what happened in AI in 2025, the most important shifts explained. First of all, of course, 2025 is the year of AI agents. This is what Sam Altman said, the CEO of OpenAI, and as well Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA. Even other experts like Andrej Karpathy, who is the co-founder of OpenAI, he said that it's actually a decade of AI agents and not only 2025. So a quick description about what are the AI agents. AI agents are automated systems that can decide, plan, and act to accomplish tasks on behalf of users. And of course, AI agents, they existed even before the 2025, but this year AI agents became much more practical and widely used. So right now people use technologies like LangChain, LangGraph, or OpenAI SDK, but as well people without any technical backgrounds, without coding skills, they widely use the platform N8N, where you can build your own AI agents. The second important thing that was created in 2025, and it's actually difficult to believe that it was created just this year because it feels like this term was around us for a long time, and it's vibe coding. So vibe coding, this term was actually created just this year. This term was created by Andrej Karpathy, co-founder of OpenAI, and he just wrote this funny tweet, and this is how this term just became viral, and now everyone uses this. So what is vibe coding? So let's talk about vibe coding as the initial description from Andrej Karpathy. Vibe coding is fully give into the vibes, embrace exponentials, and forget that the code even exists. So basically this is about creating the code without coding, and you are just moving with the vibes. And also embrace exponentials, it just means that the LLMs, the AI have an exponential development, so you just need to embrace it, and they forget that the code even exists. So currently there are very many different platforms where you can vibe code. Most popular ones are Replit, Lovable, Base44. These are the non-code tools, so basically you don't need to have any coding experience to use them, and you create websites and apps with these platforms, which I find really great. And it's again really crazy to think about that last year we're not close to what we can do right now in 2025. And other platforms like Cursor or Claude Code, they are also great tools, but it's more for people who already have some coding experience. The third important thing that happened this year is that AI achieved a breakthrough in media. What it means is basically right now AI is really capable with creating different images and even video. And it doesn't mean that AI became completely perfect with the creation of video or voice or images in 2025, but rather that 2025 was the year AI media became usable at scale with different platforms like Sora 2, which is great for video, audio, and character development, and of course the Gemini's Nano Banana Pro. What is also great that right now this AI model even can create different text in images, which was a real problem in the last year. And it's really great to see this rapid development, because even in the beginning of this year, I went to an event where Andrew Ng was a keynote speaker, and he just said, I'm going to place my picture from this January. So he said that the text processing revolution has arrived, but the image processing revolution is coming and will enable many new visual AI applications in manufacturing, self-driving, security, etc. So it was not there yet, and it was in January, and now we are already here. The fourth thing that happened this year is that AI became geopolitical infrastructure. It's really interesting that AI became really political in 2025. And for instance, what happened is that chips became a political currency. Right now, it's still fair to say that companies need GPUs to be able to develop AI or do any research on AI. And most of the chips are produced by NVIDIA, which is an American company. And actually, those chips are produced in Taiwan mostly. So this is the reason of this US and China Taiwan thing going on for the last years. So several major things happened in terms of the geopolitical AI this year. First of all, for the first time, the chips are going to be produced not only in Taiwan, but also there are some factories opened in the US to produce those chips as well. And the second is the $1 trillion deal by Trump. In late 2025, the Trump administration cleared massive shipments of chips to Saudi Arabia and the UAE. In exchange, these countries pledged to combine $2.4 trillion in investments into US-based AI infrastructure and energy projects, which is pretty crazy. And also, this is not just about the money. To get the chips, these nations had to agree to de-risk from China, meaning they have to scale back their use of Chinese tech like Huawei in their data centers. These chips are essentially being used to buy the Middle East's loyalty in the tech Cold War. And the third big thing that happened this year is what is called Chinese Manhattan Project. So what is going on in China that they are secretly developing own chips, so they are not going to be dependent on other countries to develop the AI inside China. They want to achieve a semiconductor independence. And what is interesting that China treats semiconductor independence as a matter of national survival. It involves tens of billions of dollars and a whole of nation approach bypassing normal market competition. And it's also interesting that in December, US administration allowed China to buy some of the NVIDIA chips, but China self-banned own companies to buy these chips from Taiwan because China's focus right now is really to build own chips. There are some articles saying that China already has some really good success in terms of these semiconductors, but we still don't know how quick they are going to catch up. But it's worth mentioning that China has the full focus on it right now. If you want to know more about the Manhattan Project and all the things going on between China and the USA, please write down a comment below and I will do a separate video about this. Another big thing that happened this year was, of course, DeepSeek. DeepSeek also happened just in the beginning of this year, but actually it feels like it was a while ago. So why DeepSeek development was so important this year? Because DeepSeek showed that you don't need to spend million dollars on the AI development to achieve really good results in the models. And actually you can just spend like 10% of the cost to create a similar model. Before, companies were thinking that you would need like thousands of GPUs to train a model, and you just need to buy new GPUs and scale to have better results. And investors believe that only $1 trillion US companies can develop frontier AI because DeepSeek costs much less than, for instance, GPT, than Grok and Llama, but still DeepSeek was a great model. So investors and companies realize that you don't need to just buy different GPUs and scale your AIs to get better models, but actually you can have more efficient models cost-wise. And before DeepSeek, people were thinking that China is never going to catch up with the US because they just don't have access to the latest GPUs, and the US companies have the most access to the latest GPUs, so basically their models are better. And after DeepSeek, people realized that China can stay competitive through algorithmic efficiency and deployment scale. And this is actually what is happening right now, that China is developing AI models with restricted access to computing, and they are just really working on the efficiency of the models. But I just want to point out that even after DeepSeek, there was not like a whole crash in the stock market for the US AI companies. Still, the US AI companies right now, they spend millions of dollars to train their models. So they are still not thinking about the efficiency, but still DeepSeek just showed that actually efficiency is possible. Another really interesting thing that happened this year is that AI hiring went extreme and uneven. This year, top AI researchers, engineers, and leaders were hired for multi-million-dollar compensation packages. Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI, publicly complained that Meta was offering his engineers $100 million sign-in bonuses in stock just to walk through the door of Meta office. And by mid-2025, at least 8 senior OpenAI researchers has defected to Meta, which is pretty crazy. Another big things that happened this year were that electricity became the bottleneck and not only GPUs. This year, companies realized that for AI development, they don't need only lots of GPUs, but they actually need lots of electricity. And because AI data centers consume as much power as small cities, big tech has stopped being just software companies and started becoming power companies. The last year's companies were crying about that we don't have enough GPUs, but this year companies are saying that they don't have enough energy. Another big thing that happened, of course, is the release of GPT-5, which is the PhD level AI, and just in general how the reasoning developed this year. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to our channel, to the AI Literacy Lab. We are going to post a new video every week about AI explained for people without technical background. So stay tuned. Bye and Happy New Year's.